In this video, we're going to test our understanding of transformations and of inputs and outputs. So I just want you to pay attention here and watch this example. So say, for example, I have a line. Oops. Let's see. I just have a line. And oops, let me just go back here. There we go. All right. So I have a function, and it's just made up of 3 points and lines between them. So let's just say I have one here, one there, and one there. And let me just connect these dots. So right there and right there. And let me just start labeling them. So for example, this point is 1 and that point is 2. So this coordinate is 1, 2. This coordinate right here is 2, 4. Okay. And finally, this last point here is, let's say it's 4, and this coordinate right here is 1, right? So if I were to write an XY plot of this function, just using these edge points, it would be 1, 2, it would be 2, 4, and 4, 1. All right. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to call this function f of x. So you're given all this information, and you're also told h of x is equal to 2 f of x plus 1 minus 3. All right. So this is all the information that you've been given as part of the question. Now let's actually get to the questions. So the first question is this: what is f of 1? Well, this is pretty simple. Since we have f right here, if the input is 1, the output is 2, so this is simply equal to 2. Okay, that was an easy one. So next one, let's do f of 2. Well, that's also easy. If it's f of 2 right here, that's the input, the output is 4, and so that's 4. So these are pretty straightforward. Now let's get to the challenging ones. So what if I ask you, what is h of 1? All right. So you might be thinking, well, I don't have the h function, I don't have a graph, so how am I supposed to determine what h of 1 is? Well, what you do have, what's provided in this question, is a function, right? You're given h of x is equal to 2 times f of x plus 1 minus 3. In other words, h of x is some transformation of f of x, and that's going to help us determine this. You might think, well, do I have to draw h of x? Do I have to write the transformations and draw h of x and figure out what h of 1 is? No, you don't have to do that, because this equation right here is going to help you do that. So if this is h of 1, that means whatever x is here, I'm going to replace that with 1, and I'm going to replace that with 1. So this is going to be 2 times f of 1 plus 1, 1 plus 1, close bracket, minus 3. Well, 1 plus 1 is 2, so this means 2 times f of 2 minus 3. What is f of 2? Well, we've already determined that f of 2 is equal to 4. So this is equals to 2 times 4 minus 3, and that's 8 minus 3, and that's equal to 5. So in other words, basically, if I did the transformation of f, through these transformations to get h, and if I wanted to figure out what h of 1 was, I would pretty much get 5. So remember, you don't have to draw the transform function to figure out what that value will be. You can simply use this equation. You can figure out what f of 2 is by just looking at the graph, because that's given to you, and then figure out what your solution needs to be. Let's do one more example just to get this idea. So let's do D, and the question of D is, what is h of 3? Okay, so same deal as before. The h of x is equal to 2 times f of x plus 1, but x now is 3, so I'm going to say it's 3 plus 1 minus 3. Well, 3 plus 1 is equal to 4, so it's 2 times f of 4 minus 3. The question is, what is f of 4? So let's take a look here. F of 4, as we determined, is 1, or even if we look in this xy table that I wrote here, when x is 4, y is 1. So we know f of 4 is equal to 1. So if I go back down here, this is equals to 2 times 1 minus 3. So in other words, it's 2 minus 3, and 2 minus 3 is simply -1, and that's our solution. So basically, that's how you solve that's how you find the values of transform functions. When you're given an equation, you simply plug it in, and you look at f, which you've been provided, and find that value, and then you can figure out your desired result. All right, I'll see you in the next video.